playoff run? Plus, could Antonio Brown actually hurt Tom Brady's chances at another Super Bowl? First Take, 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Aside from the fact that you guys lost the game, do you have any enduring memories from the Super Bowl and the last time you guys played the Patriots?
This is definitely a game that's going to give you a little bit more push for a little payback.
We get a takeaway right here. It's over.
I don't play this game for statistic benefits. I play this game to win.
Find a way now. Find a way. That's it. That's it.
It's old school football. It's going to be a hard-fought game, strong-fought game. We got to get our feet in the ground and get ready for a battle.
Let's go.
Well, the Rams have a chance to prove themselves against the Patriots tonight. And speaking of Patriots, look who's back from his little timeout, we'll call it, by Stephen A. We've got Damian Woody in the house. And guys, it is a very tight race in the NFC West. Now, the Rams, they are in first place with an 8-4 record. Their final 4 remaining games on the schedule, they've got the Patriots, Jets, Seahawks, and the Cardinals. So, Stephen A., are the Rams going to win their division?
I don't think so. That is unless they are in a tie and the Rams have the advantage in the tiebreaker because of divisional play. But I think that the 2 losses that they've had to the San Francisco 49ers are going to come back to haunt them. I think in the case of the Seattle Seahawks, I think they will beat the Rams. They lost to the Rams earlier this year, but they will beat the Rams. I don't think they're going to lose to the Rams 2 times in the same season. I look at it from that perspective. I also look at Seattle having the Jets and the Washington football team and the San Francisco 49ers as its other 3 games. I think their schedule is slightly easier. I think it's plausible that the Rams could lose 2 of their next 4 games, win 2, lose 2, finish the season at 10-6. Seattle finishes at 11-5, or they could both finish at 11-5, but Seattle beats them when they meet in a week or so. That's how I view the NFC West. I think it comes down to that, and I think Seattle wins the division. And I don't think that DK Metcalf is going to finish with just 2 receptions for 28 yards the next time they faced one another. And remember, they didn't have Carson the last time they played each other. They will have him this time around. That's why I picked Seattle.
Seattle was my preseason pick. I went from the Saints to Seattle once Seattle made the move for Jamal Adams. I went back to the Saints once they picked up Quan Alexander. But we're talking about who could get out of the NFC. When I look at the division itself, and who's likely to win it, I actually think it's the Los Angeles Rams right now. First of all, Seattle's not playing good football right now. In fact, they're playing their worst football of the year. There's plenty of time before the playoffs to get that right, but on the way, while you're figuring it out, you're going to lose some games. Now, it ain't going to be, you don't figure to the Jets. They both get the Jets, right? So those are wins. And so, you look at the Rams, you go, okay, well, they're playing the Patriots. Seahawks are playing the Jets. Advantage Seahawks, considering there are not that many games left, except then the Rams get the Jets. At any rate, it is going to come down to, Stephen A., what you identified, their head-to-head matchup. L.A. already won at home. If they can beat Seattle on the road, and given the way Seattle's playing, I think they can. In fact, I think they will. L.A. is likely to win the division. I like the Rams to win. They've been playing much better football than the Seahawks recently and beating quality teams. The loss to the Niners, who can surprise you on defense, even without Garoppolo, notwithstanding. LA is playing better at the right time. I expect them to win the season. I expect them to finish with the same record, but LA, having swept the season series, I'm predicting gets the nod. They'll be the number 1 team in that division, if not in the playoffs out of that division.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Max. I think the LA Rams are going to win this division. I think when you look at what's really important at this time of year, you got to remember we're in December now. Teams are what they are, pretty much. And the one thing that we know about the Los Angeles Rams, they pack a defense. They got people on that side of the ball that can get after the quarterback and that can cover. Aaron Donald is the best player in the National Football League, in my opinion. And then you have Jalen Ramsey on the back end that can lock down any defender that any offense wants to throw at them. And so for me, the biggest question when you talk about the Los Angeles Rams is which Jared Goff is going to show up. The Jared Goff on the road that's been outstanding, or the Jared Goff at home that's been pathetic. I think that's going to be where Sean McVay is going to have to clean some things up offensively, get this running game going, and get Jared Goff kind of sorted out consistently down the stretch. But defensively, at this time of year, the Rams pack a defense, and that means a lot when you're talking about going down the stretch and possibly winning the division. So I'm going with the Los Angeles Rams.
Well, he threw for 302 yards and 27 for 37 passing in the first meeting against them. But as Max said earlier, to question the Los Angeles Rams, Jared Goff's inconsistencies, I may not think it may come into play with a lot of other teams, but against Seattle, a divisional foe, I definitely think it could come back to haunt them. I have no doubt what you said about their defense, Damian. I've been raving about them all year, and it's because of that. If they make the postseason, I think they'll be a huge threat because I think that you obviously the two things that travel anywhere you go, inclement weather and all, is a running game and defense. And they definitely have that on the defensive side of the ball. They definitely have some studs. But I just think that with Jared Goff, you just never know. And against Seattle and Russell Wilson, particularly with the division title on the line, if there was one time to bet against Jared Goff, it would be that. And I would choose to do so here.
You see, I agree there would be a time to bet against Jared Goff, but I don't think the division title is what's going to motivate Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is a money player, money on the line. Give me Russell Wilson over Jared Goff all day and twice on Sundays, apropos. But divisional title, no. Super Bowl title. Like that's why I like the Seahawks in the playoffs, Stephen A. You identified it. Once the playoffs begin and Russell Wilson knows, okay, here it is, I expect Seattle to be playing better and Russell Wilson to carry him. But just like you're both in the playoffs, who's going to get to be number one in the NFC West? I don't think that's enough motivation to have Russell Wilson snap into insane mode and carry a subpar defense.
And, last thing here, the one thing about Russell Wilson, he's been great, for most of the season. The thing I worry about is, can this Seahawks defense pick it up at all? Because we've seen the weight of that really start to affect Russell Wilson as of late because of turnover. He's not playing his best ball because one side of the ball is so lopsidedly playing better than the other side. And for me, that's why I lean towards the Los Angeles Rams, because they're a little bit more of a complete team than the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
Well, ESPN's FBI give the Rams a 66% chance to win their division. All right, guys, let's transition to a team that's not doing so hot. Talking about, of course, the Cowboys. They are